Alright, this is going to be part 3 of the cabinet humidor build. Going to be working on the door and the molding. And at the end of the last video, we put the molding on, and now I'm just routing a profile on there. And that particular profile, I slightly rounded the edges over. And once I get the outside of the molding done, I'm gonna do the inside where I put a nice chamfer on the inside. All right, now I'm using the domino and making the stiles and the rails for the door frame. Putting 2 dominoes at each point, and now the glue up. Putting glue inside the domino holes and on the dominoes themselves. And even on these simple glue ups, it's always nerve-wracking because you got a very limited amount of time to get everything in place before that glue seizes up. And as you've seen in some of my videos, I have screwed up. Luckily, this wasn't one of those times. And this door was something like 1.5 inches thick and fairly heavy for the door. So I'm letting that dry for now, and then later in the video you'll see where I came up with a few ideas to take some of that weight off. And here I am putting a profile on the what's going to be the upper and lower trim. Cutting the 45-degree angles on the miter saw. And this is going to be the first layer of the trim, or molding. I'm using glue to put this in place and then tacking it in place with my nail gun. And this is going to be, I'm putting a rabbet on the door, and this is where the glass is going to, where it's going to rest. And I believe this is a 1/8 inch rabbet, or deep rabbet. And I did it in 2 passes, I believe. And now on the front side, I'm putting the same chamfer that I put on the molding on the sides of the humidor. And I did this in multiple passes as well. Smaller passes, mainly because I didn't want to leave too many burn marks. And this is my ideal to take some of the weight off this door. It's still going to be very sturdy and everything, And also the way I'm doing this, I'm using a dado stack to take, I think it was 2 inches off all the way around. And what this does too is it's gonna fit in. Once you close the door, it fits into the humidor, not creating a seal, but as you can see right there, but it's creating more or less where it fits inside the humidor. And now I'm coming back and doing the rails. And now that I've got that done, I'm marking out for the hinges. I'm gonna put 4 hinges on here. 3 hinges probably would have been enough, but I want to play it safe and go ahead and put 4 on there because of the weight of the door plus the weight of the glass. And marking off for the hinges, then I'm gonna come back with my chisel and chisel that out so that the hinges will sit below the surface. Using a self-centering drill bit there, and coming back and screwing the hinges on. And now I'm screwing them onto the humidor itself, and I prop the door up on a 2x4 scrap piece of wood, and now I'm drilling a hose so I can secure the handle on the door. And then I'm gonna come back here and use these magnet things. I don't know what they're called, but that's gonna keep the door closed. And I'm coming back with my second layer of molding, and this is gonna be the feet. And then later in one of the later videos, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna drill some holes for some self-leveling, or not self-leveling, but leveling feet. And I'm using the Craig jig here to put these shelf pin holes, and this just made it easier to get everything evenly spaced, because if any of the holes are off, it's going to throw the shelving off, and it's the last thing you want. And now I'm putting the same molding that I put for the feet, and once I put those up there, it didn't quite look right, so now I'm gonna come back and fill in the spaces in between and try to match it up as close as I can. And it actually turned out really good, blended it in pretty well. I mean, if you look close enough, you'll be able to see the lines, but it was pretty well. Next time I know to go ahead and cut all these into one solid piece, but you know. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video here for part 3 and be coming at you with part 4. Once again, I do appreciate y'all watching the videos and liking and sharing, and give me some comments on there too, and we'll see you in part 4.